Hey everybody, so I am 4 days post-op from my hysterectomy. I had my uterus removed, both ovaries, fallopian tubes, and cervix. And I just wanted to start this video by saying how different all of us trans guys are when it comes to these surgeries. Everyone's experience is just, the experiences are so varied, it's crazy. I talked to so many of you before the surgery, and for some of you it went great and smooth and no issues, and for others of you, you had this set of problems or that set of problems, but everybody was different. And I've had the same experience. My hysterectomy was different from anyone's that I'd heard of. So I just want to start off by saying that compared to top surgery, this was so much easier. I mean, pain-wise, length of discomfort-wise, it was great. I mean, I know I'm only 4 days post-op, but you'd think the worst had passed by now. I don't know. Anyway, I've got it like 75% better than top surgery. So, with that being said, I had it laparoscopically. As you can see, there was an incision here in my belly button, one on each side here, and then one down lower. And the work was done through those incisions. I had no bleeding. You can see that my tape is still shiny white. I didn't have any bleeding or seepage from that. I didn't have any other bleeding that you have afterwards. I didn't have any of that, which I was really happy about. I didn't want to psychologically deal with that. My pain has been practically non-existent. I took one Percocet the day after surgery, and other than that, I've just been taking ibuprofen, and at this point I'm not even taking that, so it was really great. So with all that being said, I feel like the surgery was a great success. I'll tell you the two things that were hard to deal with. First of all, I didn't hear any of you talk about bladder spasms. Well, I take that back. I heard Jim, Mr. Jimmy Beat, if any of you guys watch him, I heard him talk about bladder spasms, but not in great length, and holy crap, those suck. Now, it pretty much feels like, just like you have to pee really, really bad, like the worst case of having to pee you've ever had. And usually after you have a hysterectomy, you still have a catheter in, so you don't have to worry about trying to actually get the pee out, which is really hard because essentially you have a little bladder sphincter that when the spasm happens, it's just open and close, open and close, open and close, so you can't get the pee out. I didn't have an after catheter in because I was very specific with the doctor that I wanted everything down under done after I was already out, and I wanted everything taken out before I was awake, because I just couldn't psychologically deal with knowing something was happening down in that area that I hate so much. So I didn't have a catheter in. Had I had a catheter in, I would have been able to just pee that way, and I wouldn't have had the horrible pain. But as it was, I had to get up to go to the bathroom and try to pee with those horrible bladder spasms, which it took probably a full almost 24 hours to be able to pee normally, and every single time it was pretty rough. And that leads me to the second problem. I always have really severe nausea from the general anesthesia, and so now I had that terrible nausea coupled with I have to physically get up and walk to go pee every couple of hours because they had an IV going pretty strong. So the whole first night was among one of the worst nights of my life, between the bladder spasms, the pain from peeing, and the dry heaves. But after that, everything's been easy. I went home the next day. Like I said, I haven't had any pain pills to speak of. I'm not in any pain. I'm able to walk around and do everything just fine. I'm not supposed to lift anything or do anything strenuous, and it's hard because, from my vantage point, I've got these little pieces of tape and I feel fine. But one thing the nurse did, which was a good thing for her to do, is before I left, she looked me in the eye and she said, actually, she looked me in the eye while petting my head, and for some reason that made a huge difference for me listening to her. She said, make no mistake, you just have those 4 incisions, but inside you're barely holding on, so you need to rest. All I could say is yes, ma'am. So I've been resting, and it's been really great because I haven't got to rest like this for a long time, so I feel like I'm really, able to take advantage and charge up, and it's been good. So I think that's all I had to say. One other thing I wanted to add is, since I knew this surgery was coming up before I got to this point, I really wanted to make sure that I was going to heal well. So the month prior to surgery, I was on a pretty strong liver and body cleanse, where I was taking all these supplements and powders and this disgusting stuff called medical food, and pretty much ate vegan for the entire month. And I really feel like that helped in my recovery because I've healed a lot better during this surgery than any of my other surgeries, and I just feel a lot better, a lot faster. The only downside to that cleanse is I lost a lot of weight. It seems like muscle weight. So now I just kind of feel like this little stick figure, and I can't really go to the gym because I'm barely hanging on, apparently. So apparently at some point I'll get to go back to the gym and try to bulk up again. But just wanted to make an update, tell everyone I'm doing great, and hysterectomy, so far, it's a breeze. I'm happy. I'm glad that those are out of there. So I feel really good about that. Anyway, talk to y'all later. Bye.